It was the summer of 1990 when my family decided to leave everything behind, pack, and come to Los Angeles. Unlike most immigrants, we flew into the city. We didn't leave every belonging behind. As a matter of fact, we arrived with the most luggage that I have ever traveled with. It was my mom, my little sister, and myself. We arrived to the United States with the idea to start a new life. My expectation was to go to the local high school, eventually go to UCLA, and become an engineer. The reality is that none of that would happen. A little bit of my times when I came to this country, but if I tell you about my life way, way before them, you would not even think how my life would turn around. When I was little, I was born to this middle class family. My dad was actually a politician. He was a social activist. One of the memories that I have is when my dad actually decided to run for an office, a federal office, as a representative from the state of Jalisco. The entire family, the neighborhood, we were looking over the different polling places, kept track of everything, and guess what? He won. He actually won versus the most influential party of the city. But typically for Mexico, they didn't accept that. And next day they said that no, the other guy had won, and that my dad had lost the elections. The day before he was ready to go on a trip to Mexico City, everything changed. He was killed. Yes, it was an accident. It was a very suspicious accident. We found out that he passed 2 days after the so-called accident. We were not expecting that. We were thinking that he would recuperate, but then the news came that he didn't make it. He had some medical conditions that made the recovery after a surgery even worse. That was the day that really changed our lives. We were able, or we were forced to mature, to grow up, to really, look at life from a different perspective. During my senior year in high school, I realized that I just couldn't go to the schools that I wanted to go to. My dream was to go to UCLA, but that just wouldn't happen because I wasn't ready to or able to ask for financial aid or get any of the state programs. So my backup plan at that point was to go to a community college. At that time, we also had a pretty significant political uprising in California. It was Proposition 187. And that gave me an opportunity to show my leadership, to come out of my shell, and that raised some eyebrows, and some people were looking at that. Some of my teachers in high school were looking at that and wondering how come I wouldn't be dreaming about going to a 4-year university. And when I explained my situation, I remember this specific teacher. He was very proactive and said, you know what? We could actually explore the private school system. During my years at CMC, I was exposed to people from middle class, upper class, from all over the world. Definitely things that I didn't know before, that I didn't even knew existed in the past. And I think that actually shaped the rest of my life. It wasn't an immediate change for me, but it was really showing me all of these different possibilities and all of these options that I had in life. So the summer internship turned into a part-time job when I was still going to school, and a second year of summer internship, and eventually it landed a full-time job before I graduated from college. Uh, at that time, I didn't really appreciate how significant that was, but now that I look back, I look at that and I think how lucky I was and how fortunate I was that all the people who surrounded me, all the people who saw that potential gave me that opportunity. I graduated in 1999, and a couple of months later, I started my job, my full-time job at Bank of America. I stayed there for about 5 years. And then another opportunity came at Western Asset Management. I have been talking about all these professional opportunities that definitely shaped my life. But the reality is that these opportunities also shape the life of my family and a lot of people who surround me. Not only was I able to succeed and feel that my life was purposeful and that I was able to apply all my skills and all my potential, I was actually able to provide for my family, to give my family a better life, to give my family access to opportunities that I didn't have when I came to this country. You have to understand your true values. Who are you as a person? What is the impact that you can have in society? What is the impact that you can have in life? What is the impact that you can have on yourself? Be truthful for yourself. And with that, you're going to succeed no matter what life brings your way.